What's up, y'all? This is Hammer here again, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about a different topic today. What I'm going to be talking about is essentially the issue in regards to biracials. Now, when it comes to this topic, I have talked about it and sort of, dived into the issue various times. I remember I had a whole video about how biracials are not black, like way back. Um, I've talked about interracial marriage. I feel like it dive into the issue in regards to anything that has to do with sort of interracial marriage, interracial relationships, just the idea, what comes with that. But I feel like, what we are starting to see now, especially in America, sort of speaks to what I have been talking about and what I've been warning, especially as I've been seeing more and more black men and black women advocating for dating out interracial mixing, right? Now, what am I talking about? What I am talking about is what I call, or what I refer to as, the biracial buffer class. Now, what does that mean? One of the reasons why I've made videos about interracial marriage, interracial dating, mixed kids, right? It because I feel like a lot of black people, have become so obsessed in using sort of, dating out or mixing as sort of a way to one up the other person. So for example, you'll have a black man and a black woman arguing with each other and say, well, you know what? I don't need you. I can go out here and get a Becky, right? And of course, the black female's like, well, you know what? I can go and get a Brad, right? And they're trying to one up each other to see who can, I guess, get it more acceptance of who can get more accepted from non-black people. But in the end, they both lose. Because as they go out here to these non-black communities, here's what they're going to face, right? And this applies across the board, regardless of whether it's a black man dating out or a black female dating out. Number one, they're going to deal with the fact that, number one, regardless of how much you take the culture, love the food, love the... Irregardless of how much you take in the culture, love the food, love the dances, try to be one of them, you will never be a part of those people. And they will let you know time and time again, you're not one of us. Number one. So cultural isolation. Number two, even if you are able to get a non-black person to kind of marry you or have kids with you, more time than likely, the family and the group of people are never going to focus you. Now, they may tolerate you, they may smile on your face, but they'll never accept you. And you will be always reminded that, hey, they prefer their child to get with someone from their own community, right? And number three, those children you have will never be accepted in that group. I don't care how much your non-black spouse may feel, whether you're a black man or black woman, right? Those biracial kids that you have with that non-black spouse will never be accepted in that non-black community, right? And most importantly, you will never be taken seriously in the black community ever again. Let's just keep it real. And this is across the board. Whether you're a black woman married to a white dude, a non-black man, or a black man married to a non-black woman, the moment you enter a black space, your credibility gets... Like, how many times have we seen situations of, black men that will come in talking about how they want to build an event, and then, the moment in which we find out that they're married to a non-black female, it's like, you lose respect. Because not only do you lose black women by doing that, but a lot of black men can't take you seriously. Like, look, how can we trust you to build when you wouldn't even invest in your own personal life? When you didn't even invest to continuing the black race, or your bloodline. Same thing when it comes to a black female. She's like, a black female cannot bring Brad to a quote unquote conscious event or a black event. Like, come on, all right. So those are the four things that you are going to be dealing with when you go out here into a date. But one thing I've always said is that the biggest issue, the biggest L that comes from that is the creation of those kids. And I guess going back to the title of the video, to the topic, is what I call the biracial buffer class. If you go now and you pull the stats and you look at the data, what you're essentially going to see is that, there is an increasing number of mixed people being born in the United States. Now, I don't care about other people mixed. I don't care. My only issue is that this also happened in the black community. And what I feel is going to happen is that you are going to see an increasing number of biracials, like half black biracials, whether it's from black men or black women, who really only claim black because they can't claim anything else. And the moment in which they have the opportunity to do something else, they will all fall. I mean that they will essentially be I will call winter soldiers. I guess you could say, soldiers that can be activated against the black community if so need be. And I'm going to give you guys a perfect example, right? The woman that you will see on the screen right now is Sage Steele. And there's this video of her that is going viral online because she is saying about how, growing up, she's never really identified as being black. She chose to call herself biracial. Now, what's fascinating is that Tariq Nasheed posted this video saying, "Oh my gosh, she's denying her black." I'm like, but Tariq, no. She's actually acknowledging that she's she has both sides. Now, keep in mind, Tariq Nasheed is also married to a biracial female, so keep in mind, right? Something I've noticed is that, one way in which black people, especially black men, because black men, mostly black, one way in which black men specifically justify interracial dating is that in the back of the mind, they're like, well, it's not that bad because the kids will be considered black, right? They have, they're like, I can go out. And by the way, Amazing Lucas said the same thing too. They can go out here and get with an Asian female, white female, any kind of female. But it's not, I'm not really, erasing my genetics because, that kid's considered black. I'm like, first of all, no, that kid is half non-black. The only reason why they're considered black is because other groups don't accept them. And the classification. But have you ever asked yourself, do these biracials actually want to be in the black classification? No one ever asked that question. I have always said, look, most of these half biracials don't really want to be black. They're being forced to. And what I feel is going to happen is that as black men and black women out here mixing it up, trying to one-up each other, you're going to create a growing number of half black biracial kids, right? And what's going to happen is that this growing number of half black biracial kids, if once their numbers hit a critical mass, they will start advocating for a separate classification from black people to be biracial, right? Hell, I personally believe that as the number of biracial kids grow overall in America, overall in general, right, biracial people of all kinds are going to ask for classification, are going to ask for their own classification. Once again, look. Only, I will say, America is probably one of the few places, if not only, that does this thing where biracial people get classified the same as monoracial. No one else does this. I would say most places around the world, if you're mixed, you're classified as mixed, right? That's another issue why black Americans don't understand the DR. The reason why the DR is the Dominicans all called black because most of them are mixed, right? But here's the thing. Why does this hurt black America or black people? It hurts because if you essentially have, aligned yourself to the one drop rule and have purposely went out here and created this sort of what I call biracial group because you thought they were because of black, if those groups then all of a sudden when they hit a critical mass start to make their own group, not only does that become a huge drop in your population, but they will essentially become a buffer class that can be used against you. There will be this group that will be neither black, right, but also non-black, but they won't be accepted by non-black people, so they'll be in this sort of in-between, but most importantly, there'll be a group that will be used against you. And we see that throughout the black world, right? What is in Haiti, what is in Jamaica, what is South Africa, the half black biracials almost always go ahead and form their own sort of buffer class group, and they end up being a detriment to the black race or to black people in general. They don't work against your interests. All right? I wouldn't be surprised if this black biracial buffer class is even much more anti-black than the other group because they will have to double down even harder to try to separate themselves. Don't call me black. I'm biracial. So my thing is that in the pursuit of trying to escape your issues, in the pursuit of trying to one up each other and say, oh, well, I can do that too, I can do that too, you guys, what's going to happen, are now going to potentially create a completely new group of people that will turn that will against you. It's already bad enough you got other groups like whites and others, right? But for you to artificially and purposely create another group that will end up working against you is crazy to me. And for all the folks that say, well, it's about you teaching them blackness. Look, I don't care what you teach them. The only reason why they claim black is because no other option. And if the number of biracial kids in America keep rising with the rising, I would not be surprised if a classification gets created eventually for biracial people. And not only will this allow those folks to have their own classification, but it will also allow black biracials to be something else other than black. And they will join the sort of new biracial class, buffer class being created, and they will work against your interests. Now, obviously, this biracial class is going to be separate from other non-black here, but here's the issue. Those non-black people essentially, once again, they are already ahead of you in the society. So they'll be much more better built to deal with this growing number of biracials and the potential of a biracial class, or biracial buffer class. That's the sort of great number of people who mix. But you, as a population who for so long have sort of held on to the one-drop rule, allow biracial people to enter your spaces, do all type of stuff, it's going to be very difficult because it's going to hurt you really hard. Not only are you going to lose a significant portion of the black population because so many of folks who are classified as black are just mixed, right? But not only that, but you would have essentially now contributed to a creation of a group that will work against your interests. I'm like, when you have Terry Crews on Club Shay Shay talking about how his biracial wife is black, but his wife looks like a blonde-haired white, he was like, this how bad it's getting. And it's like, I told black, yo, black men, you're not thinking long-term. Stop. Put the white girl down. Put the shit down. You guys are out here, and it's not just black men and black women, right? But to be honest with you, it's really more of black men, right? Black men. You guys are out here, we are out here chasing all these non-black females, and we're trying to justify by saying that they're trying to be non-black. But you're dumb, because that kid is only going to identify as black because they have to. The moment in which the society gives them the option to be something else, that's what they're going to go and do. And not only would you have quote unquote lost that lineage, quote unquote, but the biracial kids you helped to create will then be weaponized against you. And when it comes to black women, look, I get it. Y'all want to stick it to black men because of our chasing back. I get it. But same thing with you too. If you're a dark-skinned black female and you give birth to a biracial, quote unquote, a female, do you think this biracial Zendaya-looking female will have the sense as you do? I'm gonna sing it now. Look at how much look at how much black women hate on Zendaya, right? Because, and I get it, Zendaya essentially is a mixed race woman, and she gets privileges based on that. And you can compare how she's treated compared to someone like Keke Palmer. So once again, so like, right, you all know colorism. You guys feel it. Do you think a growing number of biracial women is gonna help you guys with that? Because you know they're gonna put them over you. And when it comes to black men, let's keep it real. If you guys keep helping create these biracial kids, there will come a time where biracial men will put over you too. Come on. But it's crazy to me how we have reached a situation in which black people have now purposefully and willfully, in my opinion, it's bad enough that you got other groups out against you. But for you to go out here and willfully create an entire group of people, new class of people, that could be weaponized and probably will weaponize against you is crazy to me. Now, to be fair, right, you have a growing number of mixed with people across the board. But the difference is that, once again, these non-black groups, they're already ahead of you, so they're in a better position to handle that. You are in the worst position, you're the most vulnerable position. So not only would you have this new biracial buffer class, right, but all of the black biracials will no longer be forced to be classified as black. They can now be biracial. And they will join that biracial buffer class to work against you. Come on. It just is crazy, right? Now, these other groups of non-blacks, they're going to be the better position to handle this. It's not going to be a big deal. But you are going to be the most effective, because not only would you deal with a new buffer class that's going to undermine you, but you're going to find out all the people who have been classified as black, but are really biracial, you will lose them too. I would not be surprised if we end up in a situation in which all of the biracial people who were classified as black start being classified biracial. I wouldn't be surprised if decades from now, Barack Obama starts being called the first biracial president. I wouldn't be surprised. Come on. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't guard your lineage. That's the reason why other groups of people, right? That's the reason why you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to include mixed people. You're supposed to guard your lineage. You're supposed to guard your bloodline so that that cannot happen. But anyway, and there's a history. There's such a history across the globe, whether it's in Africa or the Caribbean or in America, of biracial folks essentially being used as a buffer class against black people. So it killed me that black people in America willfully will go and create this class of people. And I'm telling you, look, it's getting to a critical mass, and don't be surprised if the growing number of biracial people in America create their own classification for biracials, and half black biracials stop calling themselves black and just call themselves biracial, just like Stage Steel. And then this new buffer class of biracial people end up, once again, being another group in America that work against your interests, right? That's weaponized against you, right? Let's keep it real. Including the black biracials who will join the biracial buffer class to work against you. But instead of you fighting against this, you guys contributed and created this biracial buffer class that will end up being weaponized against you and work against your interests. It is what it is. But with that being said, y'all tell me in the chat what you guys think. But yeah, it's crazy how, black men and black women, in a way to escape from the blackness, in the way, as a way to escape from the blackness and as a way to kind of one up each other, have essentially contributed in the creation of the biracial buffer class that will essentially, in my opinion, undermine them the most. It is what it is. Yep, it is what it is. But with that being said, y'all tell me in the chat what you guys think. Now, look, the biracial buffer class is going to be made up of all biracial in America, but the problem is that, you going out here and creating all these mixed babies is you contributing to the creation of this new class of people that will be weaponized against you. And that's what's dumb about it, right? It's one thing if y'all don't do it and it happens anyway, but the fact that black people essentially contributed to it, is not weaponized against them, it's crazy to me. So yeah, so biracial buffer class, that's the future. It is what it is, and deal with it. And I tried to warn y'all. I said, look, that's not the answer. No, they're not the answer. SY is not the answer. But look, a lot of y'all, when you start seeing biracial women, being pedestalized, when you start seeing biracial being pedestalized, don't cry now. And you guys already know that when it comes to any group, they'll always prioritize over black folks. And I would not be surprised that as this biracial group is formed, not only do you lose the quote unquote black biracials to them, but they will end up essentially once again stepping over you or attack or weaponize against you, as a way to climb the social ladder. Because that's what comes with being the permanent underclass, that every other group has to step on you to go up. So you simply create another group of people, another class of people, buffer class people that will once again step on you to climb the social ladder. It is what it is. But with that being said, y'all, tell me what you guys think in the chat. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with me? Some of you guys are probably gonna have, hard opinions about it. Some be against it, for it. But look, I don't care about feelings. I'm here to say facts. And if you don't like it, well, it is what it is. But I guess, yeah, that should be it. Yep. So like, share, subscribe, hammer out.